Hello, welcome back to Learn Oikonomia. Today we are going to discuss the idea of partial hoarding. Let's have a look onto the very same topic. The idea of partial hoarding means a situation where we hold a proportion or a portion of money balances in the form of physical cash. So when we say physical cash, this means money in pockets. So rather than keeping money in the form of deposits in bank, people would be keeping money in their pockets, or they would be keeping money with them. They would be keeping liquid cash with themselves. What would be the effect of the very same? The effect would be that it will lead to a fall in amount of money available for lending. So money for lending would be coming down. Why? Because only when you keep money in bank, only when you deposit money in bank, the bank would be able to have more money with it, right? So then only it would be able to lend more to the public. But here the problem is that people are not putting their money in bank. Instead, they are keeping it with themselves in their pockets as liquid cash. So this would be reducing the money available for lending. What would be the result here? This would be resulting something called falling money multiplier. The money multiplier means the extent to which the money gets multiplied. This too would get reduced in the context. Let's come to the example here. Let's assume that the total money supply that is there in the economy is expressed as $1,000. And out of $1,000, the reserve requirement would be 10%. So what does it mean by reserve requirement? This portion of money is not lent by the bank. Instead, bank would be keeping it with itself. This is how it goes. So this would be that portion of the deposit received by the bank which is not lent to the public. Instead, what the bank does is that it would be kept as reserve. Kept as reserve. So this is the context. This is the scenario, that is the total money is $1,000 and the reserve requirement as per the central bank. The central bank has got all the right and authority to instruct the commercial bank to go for a particular level of reserve requirement, and as per the instruction given by the central bank, the reserve requirement is 10%. That is, after the total deposit received, the commercial bank has to keep 10% of the very same as reserve. So we believe that initially all deposit their money in banks. That is, all here means all people, all individuals, or individuals would be depositing their money in bank. In such a scenario, bank will be holding something called 10% of their deposit as reserve. So what would be the lending here? Lending means 100% minus 10%, which would be equal to 90%. So the bank would be able to lend something called 90%. This is how it happens. So when it comes to our initial case of money supply of $1,000, this would be creating something called a 90% of $1,000 as loans. So what is it? 90% of $1,000 would be 900. That is $900. So this much would be lent to the public. So lending here would be $900. So reserve here should be only 10%, which would be equal to 100. So here we just assume that all people are depositing in the bank. Now we are going for a change to see partial hoarding, the effect of partial hoarding. Now we assume that some individuals start to hoard cash with themselves rather than keeping this in the bank in the form of deposit. Some people began to hoard the cash in their pockets or in their drawer or in their wardrobe or in their house, whatever. Anyway, these people are not keeping money in bank, instead they are hoarding it. So in such a case, we assume that $200 out of $1,000, this is hoarded. This is something which is hoarded by the people. So earlier we were having money supply of $1,000, but now since $200 is hoarded, whatever available here is $1,000 minus $200. So it will give $800. This is the new money supply. So this is the money that is available in bank. Again, remember, we have already said that the central bank tells every commercial bank to keep 10% as reserve, isn't it? So we have to take the 10% of 800, that would be equal to $80. So the 90% here would be available for lending. 90% of 800 would be taken, that is $720. This is the lending available amount, or the amount that is available for lending. Now let's go for a comparison. Earlier, when people were not hoarding their cash with themselves, where people were, all the individuals were having their money put in bank, we had a multiplier happening with $900. So the potential loans that could be created through the money multiplier process, this was earlier $900. What happened when people began to hoard money? The money supply came to be something 800, right? So this is something for 1000 and this is something for 800. During 800, as the money supply, the multiplier process came down because of the reduction in lending activity, because only now $720 is available for lending. We are talking about a scenario with a reduction in the overall money supply. From $1,000, the money supply got reduced to $800. So that has created a reduction in multiplier effect also. That is all for the idea related to partial hoarding. I hope you could understand the session. Thank you for watching. I request you to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos. You can also join our free Telegram community. I'll be providing the link of the very same in the description box. Also, you can download the Learn Economy app, for which also link would be provided in the description box. That's it. Thanks again for watching.